The fortunate opportunity to work with Kari these last 2 summers, during which time she had a baby and helped Phineas celebrate the 100th. And she's been an incredible partner, friend, common sense of humor, and is qualified for this role in every way imaginable. And this weekend, the Board of Trustees voted unanimously, based on Kari's experience and the work she's done in the Vice President role, to make her our next President. Kari has personal experience in being a staff member of both sides of the lake, has a deep family connection to Camp Dudley, of course, and has been around this town and area for her entire life. And I should call out one other important quality, which I think is maybe the least important quality of hers, but is memorable and notable, that she's going to be the first woman president of our CDA. Because I think everyone should know it was not an adjective or a variable discussed in any way about why we think she's so qualified and wonderful and why we wanted her to be the president. But it's nonetheless an important occasion for us as a camp.
That's right.
And for us as a community to recognize an incredible woman and an incredible leader in an important and visible leadership role that recognizes the gender balance of our camps, our communities, our family, and I think of our aspiration. So welcome and congratulations, Kari.
Yep.
Kari has the responsibility tonight to also take us through our recognition of the person of the year. Come on up.
Thank you, everybody, for the lovely, warm acceptance. Thank you, Kate. You may have noticed this year we did things a little differently in terms of the person of the year, that some of you may know who that person is, and that was done very intentionally. We want people to be here outside of the immediate family who care and know that person. So in the future, we plan to continue to do that, and I think it's worked well out this time from what I can tell of who's in the room. So I'm still going to keep it a secret for a second if you don't know what it is, because everybody likes a little bit of suspense. For a place like camp to be successful and special, it requires the presence of people with passion, commitment, and fortitude, so that they can become a part of the Dudley landscape for many years, kind of bridging generations and from director to director and one generation to the next. These special individuals who hold tenure at camp allow for familiarity, consistency that enable the rest of us to come and go and come again and feel as though while things grow and change, the true essence of camp remains the same. In 1990, for those of you who don't do math, that's 30 years ago, Lily Schmidt hired a young woman who I don't think anyone could predict would become one of these amazing Dudley legends. Lucky for us, throughout all of the fun and sometimes trying times, this inspiring woman has been present and willing to put in countless hours at camp when she could have been spending time vacationing with family or enjoying the peace and quiet of Walden's during her summers off. I am honored to be able to announce that on top of ushering her into retirement this summer, the CDA is naming the one and only number 15305, Sheila Kapper. Prior to working at camp, Sheila selflessly served other communities in need with her nursing talents. She began her journey in nursing at Messina Hospital in 1976. 2 years later, she relocated to Arkansas and worked at the Little Rock Medical Center. Some events back home led to her return to the North Country in 1980, at which time she began work at Elizabethtown Hospital, until she took up her dual roles of school nurse at Elizabethtown Lewis Central School, known locally as ELCS, and camp nurse at Dudley. I not only had the pleasure of working with Sheila during my time at the Dudley High Cut, but I was also a student at ELCS for 13 of the 30 years she spent serving families in the local community. She has personally helped me heal from a number of unfortunate events, including broken pinky at a dodgeball game at school. She provided me a tetanus booster and a wound closure after I lost a fight against the high cut split door. And then some ice to the face after her son Devin and I dropped an aluminum canoe from the top of the canoe trailer during a downpour. No safety there. Let's see. But as a budding nurse, I'm a nurse, as some of you may know, but many of you probably don't know. I did a lot of scheming on how to be the next Sheila. But as I spent a couple of years at the Kinney Infirmary, I realized while the job was important and very oh so wonderful, it was slightly less glamorous than I had imagined. It was then that I truly came to recognize just how amazing Sheila really was and is. You never really rest. You're never fully asleep. You're not only managing the current ailments, but also trying to anticipate and prevent the next mishap. It's an incredibly rewarding job, but one that is not without daily challenges. Who doesn't love some norovirus? Sheila, you are a saint. To Fred, Devin, and Luke, who wasn't able to be here today, thank you so much for lending your wife and mother to us for so many summers. I'm sure she balanced it well, but I'm also sure it was a challenge at times. We are so grateful to you for sharing her with us. And we promise no more 2 a.m. calls to cabin 7. I'm going to turn the floor over to Whitney Phelps, the Board of Trustees Chair, to present the plaque to Sheila. And then I'm going to hand the mic over to several other people who worked very closely with Sheila over the years. Sheila, cheers to the end of an era and the beginning of R&R for you.
Camper number 15305, Sheila Kapper. For 30 years, Camp Dudley has had the honor of being kept safe and healthy by the healing hands and comforting words of Sheila Kapper. Her top quality nursing care, calm energy during emergencies, and attention to detail and organizational skills are unrivaled. What makes Sheila exceptional is her role as de facto camp mom. Always able to spot a homesick camper or someone in need of a little TLC. She provided not only the physical healing, but also the maternal love that an all-boys camp requires. Her devotion to public health is also demonstrated by the fantastic care she provided to thousands of Elizabethtown Lewis Central School students she tended to as school nurse from 1991 to 2019. In addition to her full-time duties, she has provided unwavering love and support for her own family, husband, 17537 Fred, sons 15905 Luke, and number 1537 Devin, and her grandchildren Reed and Brooks. We thank them for allowing her to spend countless days and nights in the infirmary over so many summers. Having served under 4 directors, her tireless, steadfast service at the infirmary is the the ultimate example of living the Dudley motto, the other fellow first. And for this, the Camp Dudley Association is proud to honor number 15305, Sheila Kapper.
So I'm going to call up Doc Knight and some of his friends.
Thank you, everybody. We have the other side of the story. The other side of the story from the doctors. But first of all, I'd like to have Carol Schroebel come up. Carol has been a nurse at Dudley for years and years. Right-hand person.
Sheila, I want to give this to you, and this is directly from me, but I hope that everyone else will help add to it. So I'm just going to leave it up front. I really wanted to say something tonight. And actually, all year long, I have wanted to share something with you. If you want my wand. So there's a story behind the wand, and that this year I happened to be cleaning a whole bunch of things out, and I had so many helpers, and I had the pile of garbage, and I had the pile of Salvation Army and things I need to keep, and this wand was sitting somewhere amongst garbage and Salvation Army, and I went over and picked it up, and said it's gotta go to school. I don't know why. And I wanted to share it all school year long, but tonight is a perfect night because I think all of you would understand where I'm coming from. It is my wand. I'll share it with you tonight to remind you that you bring magic. And you have brought magic to all of these people and to their children and to many people. We love you.
I'm Dr. Bill. I've known Sheila since 1995 when I was, my youngest son came to camp, and worked with her for 25 years now. They've given me measly 2 minutes to describe the essence of this wonderful person here. I'm going to do it by her name. S, spectacular. Sheila is the best nurse I've ever worked with in 40 years of medicine. I have been in high-pressure institutions and low-pressure institutions. Sheila's the best. H, heartfelt. She says it like it is. Whether you like it or not, she says it in a pleasant way. So that you don't really feel bad about yourself for screwing up. She's great with the homesick campers. She's fabulous with everybody, with the staff. E is energetic. Has anybody ever seen Sheila yawn? Never. She's around 2/3 of the night. She's taking calls, 2 and 3 people, yet she's up at 7:30 in the morning. She's getting the meds ready at 9 o'clock. It's unbelievable. Eyes for intelligence. You know, you can be book intelligent, and then you can be totally off the wall when it comes to practicality. Sheila has this unbelievable ability to assess when the camper's really sick and they come in and I am panicked. And Sheila just kind of pats them on the back and sends them out because, oh, they are a little bit homesick. And I can't tell. And I'll say one other serious thing is that Camp Dudley is the kind of showpiece of New York State camps. We are regulated by an incredible number of rules, laws. Sheila knows more about it than any of the rest of the people in the state, and is fortunate for camp, and because of this, camp has been so safe. The last is A for always. Always for her family, Fred, Lou, Devin, the grandkids. Always for camp. Camp will always be Sheila's medical camp. The legacy will survive. It'll change, but it will survive. Thank you, Sheila.
I think almost everyone here knows the story about how I first became associated with Camp Dudley when Willie had his heart attack running the New York City Marathon. Almost immediately, as you can imagine, those who knew Willie, he started lobbying with me, trying to convince me to come up here, basically because he wanted his own doctor up here. But I resisted, and in early May of that year, he called us at home and was speaking to my former wife, and I kept saying, and I could see her face changing as he spoke with her. And she said, "Really? Wow, that sounds terrific." Anyway, we came up here, and when I came up here, I found that the fellow who had preceded me was a specialist, was a professor of medicine at the University of Wisconsin, who specialized in kidney disease. And then I came up as an adult cardiologist. The person who followed me was a specialist in physical medicine, and the doctor who followed him was a cardiac surgeon. So I thought, I'm not particularly smart, but this stood out in my mind. I thought, this is probably not the best mix of doctors. So, those of you who are campers then, and since, may ask yourself, how did you survive? You were being cared for by a group of doctors who had neither the training, the inclination, or experience to deal with what was likely to happen to you. The fact that any of you are still here is a miracle. But it's not an inconceivable miracle, because there's an explanation, and the explanation was the nursing staff. And the nursing staff was the best nursing staff I've ever worked with in a very long career in medicine, and the outstanding person in that extraordinary group was my friend and mentor, Sheila Kapper.
So my field of medicine is geriatrics. Every child summer camp needs that. The answer again is Schmidt. Okay, he was getting older and he was in Westport, so here I am. So, that's why you're not here.
No, I took care of the camp of boys for a couple of days.
Right, so they'll take anyone. So, you know, as any doctor who's got any sense is quick to learn, you need to listen to your nurse, and you need to know when they're trying to lead you to the right answer. And all of us who have been able to survive as camp doctors and not kill people have learned that. But there's another side to Sheila. She calls it OCD, some people call it something else. My first summer, every time I was writing in a chart and I put it down to stop for a moment, away it went. I spent the whole week just looking for a pen. So Sheila left the infirmary for about an hour and a half for probably getting medical supplies. And I said, that's it, I've had it. And I got every pen and pencil I could find, and I put them down on every horizontal surface in the infirmary, every 6 inches. And just to make sure this lasted a while, I glued every other one. So began a tradition that each summer something Sheila would do would lead to Kevin doing something in return. So the next summer, Sheila's thing didn't seem to be so much pencils as making sure she conserved camp resources by turning off the lights whenever we weren't busily doing something. So the lights were going off constantly. So my final night for evening sick call, Sheila came in and she went to turn on the light, and I said, "Oh no, we're not using lights tonight. I've got candles." So every site that had a pencil the year before now had a candle. And we had sick call by candlelight. Romantic or something, I don't know what it was. So it really wasn't until the third summer that I started to understand more of the aspects of Sheila that began to be a little concerning. And when I left, Sheila said, "Kevin, I'm a little anxious. You didn't do anything." I said, "Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything this year, Sheila." And then next week, a very revealing story came out in the weekly Camp Dudley doings about the more nefarious side of Sheila. Because I had discovered something. Ever since Sheila became the camp nurse, no camp director had been allowed to serve for more than 5 years. In 5 years, they were all out. Now, you may think that, okay, Matt, you lucked out, okay? But this year, Matt decided he had to take action. The reason Sheila has to leave is Matt figures 10, she's never going to have to be past 10. But now Sheila's going to leave, and I think the question that we're going to have from now on is this one.
This next one? This guy?
And for those of you whose eyesight isn't so good, it says, "What would Sheila do?"
My field of medicine was getting hurt, and that's why I had to marry a nurse. Okay. I apologize in advance should I about to read things that will remind you of being in a social studies class or history class somewhere. But a part of history is time, and time is a key factor in the choice of this year's recipient, who has given about 3/4 of her adult life to serving the needs of Camp Dudley boys and staff. The year is 1959, the 75th anniversary of Camp Dudley's founding. The place is Witherby Hall here on a Saturday night in August, reunion night. Okay, I want to quote from the 1959 October issue of the Camp Dudley Association News. Bill McCutcheon has just, this is Bill McCutcheon Sr., has just announced the new CDA Award of Achievement and Service. Each year, the CDA will bestow this award on a Dudley alumnus or member of the Dudley family who has, by his or her performance and behavior, exemplified the Dudley spirit in their life. We're not giving it necessarily to Dudleyites who became famous, but rather to those who lived Dudley's principles throughout their lives. End quote. In the back of the camp office, on the wall just outside the Leadership Center and Library, hangs a 20 by 30 inch plaque adorned with 120 nameplates, entitled Camp Dudley Man of the Year. Now more appropriate, the Person or Persons of the Year. Half of those nameplates are engraved with the names of individuals or groups of persons that have outstandingly contributed to what Sumner Dudley began. Yes, I did say groups of persons, for in 2006, the women of Dudley were honored, and in 2009, the dedication went to the Camp Dudley family. At this reunion in 1959, my grandfather, the late Reverend James Ellenwood, received the distinction of receiving Camp Dudley's first Man of the Year recognition. Now, some 60 years later, his granddaughter-in-law will be joining him and the other distinguished recipients on that plaque. At the top row of the column, just 3 rows over from Jim Ellenwood's name. When Sheila began here at Dudley Infirmary in 1990 under Willie Smith's directorship, she did not come alone. Our youngest son, Devin, who was born in April of that year, came too. For though I did what a new dad does for his child, there is a certain thing for which no father can supply. So I would bring Devin down to camp later in the day, for in those early years, Sheila commuted from our home in Wadhams. She would provide him with a meal and a nap there in the infirmary, all the while tending to the needs of the campers and staff alike. Over the years, Sheila has become known as mom to hundreds of boys, and has served under the directorship of Willie, Wheaton Griffin, Andy Bissell, and presently Matt Story. In 1992, our older boy Luke was a cub in Syracuse Cabin, which, as many of you know, is just outside the infirmary. There, he could be close to her, but most likely, I think the opposite. She'd be near him. As time passed, I also joined the Dudley staff here at camp, and we found our second home up on Staff Hill in Cabin 7. However, due to the dedication that Sheila is known for in her role as nurse, both here at camp and the 28 years she spent at Elizabethtown Lewis Central School, she found herself not working in the infirmary, but she became the infirmary, spending untold days and nights under the infirmary's roof. If there is one word for every minute of each day that she spent fulfilling her duties and caring for her Dudley family, the text would surely rival that of the Gutenberg Bible or War and Peace.
Together.
I cannot tell you how many times that I stood on the infirmary's porch along with those who had come for evening sick call just to tell her good night. Yes, camp will open for its 136th season next summer, minus one all too familiar face. And the radio waves will be different too, lacking that 8-word phrase that has become so familiar. Yes, this is Sheila. Can we go to 2?
Yeah, we do lights on the screen.
You have fun there? What was your favorite thing to do at Camp Dudley? Archery. Archery? What else? Did you have fun swimming? Just really? Yeah, that was pretty cool, huh? Well, listen, they're giving me and I a very special award right now. You know how many years she's been at Camp Dudley? 30 years. I was just a little bit older than you were, Reed. Congratulations to Nana.
There isn't a thing that I could say that would simply be a repetition of what everybody has said tonight. She is the best nurse I have ever served, and Sheila knows.
I'm this in March, so I was able to go ahead and prepare some. Words do not begin to express how I feel at this moment. Those who know me know that I do not like the focus to be on me, but I have no problem in expressing myself or my concerns. I like being part of a team, and at Dudley, it is so easy to be a team player when everyone is doing it. I was the sub that never left. My first summer, I had a 4-month-old, as has been mentioned earlier, and an 8-year-old. A phone call came from Willie Schmidt, and he told me that one of the nurses had to leave for a health issue. He wanted me to come and relieve one of the other nurses for a few hours a night. Those hours grew and grew and grew into days. No one said no to me. And so the adventure began. Thank goodness for my husband and boys for understanding my commitment to camp. Without their cooperation, it never would have been possible. They sacrificed a lot of summer family time. I am very thankful every day for those people who have entered my world and shared a part of themselves. Every day was an adventure, some great, some not. Each, however, was a lesson in human nature. During my tenure, I did work with 4 directors, 5 summers with Willie, 5 summers with Wheaton, 10 summers with Andy, and 10 summers with Matt Story. And I want you to know I did not collaborate with anybody else on this. It's only fitting that with these math progressions, like Dr. Kapper, it's time to pass the torch. I have gleaned so much, but it's time for the next generation to take over. It is a challenging adventure, but one that is certainly rewarding, and heaven knows I like challenges, and hopefully the new team will too. Thank you for the opportunity to share your lives, loves, family, and friends with me. I have purposely not mentioned any names of doctors or nurses because I would forget someone. I do not want to offend anyone without omission. You know how I feel. I've always let my feelings be known to those that I care most about. Thank you for our time together, my dear friends. I will always treasure my Camp Dudley time. I leave you with a quote from Maya Angelou. They may not remember your name, but they will never forget the way you made them feel. Thank you so much.
We're going to take a little break now, and if any of the physicians and nurses are in the audience, I'd like to have you come up for a group hug. And also, Carol has sheets of paper she would like to pass out. If you'd like to write a personal note to Sheila, please do. We'll collect them at the end. Thank you.